Hi everyone. Today we're going to do a little flying with a 350QX with a Mobius Action Cam wide strapped to it. I'm going to be flying with a DX6, and I've found a nice slab out in the state park. It's huge, and I'm too lazy to bring my quad out to it, so I usually just fly to the center and reset my home point. There I am, using a stock battery, pretty much stock everything. I do have quite a bit of ballast that I load up on my 350 to smooth out the video. Seems to work pretty good, but when you got 15 to 20 mile an hour winds, and I think it was gusting a little more than that a little bit, you get a little shakiness. But I was more into doing some altitude stuff today, and my first attempt went a little haywire on me. My GPS doesn't like to cooperate in stability mode. Sometimes it'll float for 50 feet or more before it'll actually decide it feels like locking in. But get in trouble and hit return to home, and that was the first attempt. And I usually get about 7 minutes out of a stock battery with the way I've got it weighed down. And here's try number 2. Goes a little bit better, but it's still a little tough fighting into the wind. I was heading straight into the wind to give myself a little slack coming back, not having to fight the wind, at least to get over its home position. So I get a little bit of altitude, and this one goes a little smoother. Not a whole lot, but enough to go. Call it good. Got a nice big field to fly over. Right next to my slab. Or the slab, it's not mine. You can see my GPS hunting for its column. Sometimes it takes quite a while to find it. It's unfortunate, but just one of those things I have to live with my particular 350. So it's straight, and right there where it tips is where it finally finds its column and decides that that's where it'll go up at. I'm going up full throttle. I've already used 2 of my minutes out of my 7, so I don't have a whole lot of time to go up and get back, which I didn't really figure in on the way up. And it specced out pretty quick. I couldn't see it fairly soon after I took off. And I kept on the throttle, and I figured I'd wait, give it 3 minutes to come back home. Right there, I think, is when I hit the return to home button. And when you can't see it, that's nerve-wracking. And when it's windy, you're not going to be able to hear it or see it. Usually if it's pretty calm, you'll hear it and at least know it's up there. But there was a long time in this flight where I was unaware of its location whatsoever. But you could see it when it started to go back over its home position. Then you can see it again and make another adjustment when it starts coming down. And it takes a while, if it's fighting the wind, to get back over its home position. It doesn't give up any altitude from what I'm aware of until it gets to its home position. And it really is a lot of time to worry. It doesn't seem like much, but not seeing it for that long can seem like an eternity, and you start to wonder if you should be in your car in case it has a catastrophic failure and doesn't land on your head, and hope that nothing else bad happens. But about, I'd say 30 seconds on my timer, I'm really starting to bum out, thinking that I'd really overreached myself. But at about 30 seconds, I started being able to hear it. And that gave me a little hope. And after about 15 seconds left, maybe a little more than that, I could see it. And it was coming down into the sun, because that's where I positioned myself in the home position. And I don't know if I could see it at this point. Maybe could just now get visual on it, but I could hear it before I could see it, which, as windy as it was nerve-wracking. And the timer counting down wasn't helping matters any. And it hit the ground with about 6 seconds left on my timer. And it hit pretty good too, got a good bounce out of it. It usually does a lot better than that. You can see me stare at my radio in disbelief that I had 6 whole seconds to spare. I don't know how high I got. Maybe a little over 400 feet, give or take. I have no clue. I don't have an altimeter. And I never got any frame losses or holds or anything like that. So I just went up, checked it out. Everything was fine. Motor that has a bad vibration in it didn't even get warm, which was nice, because I've got my right front usually gets pretty warm because it vibrates like crazy. But all went well. So thanks a lot for watching, and give me a like if you care to, and subscribe if you want to see a whole lot more videos with flying in them. Thanks again.